Right, Shalom.
Shalom.
We're the real Hebrew Israelites that come in week week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked-ass kingdom called America, to teach you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled birds out there that you guys are God's, which his name is Yahweh, true children though. But first and foremost, we want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, and double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And I'm the brother Markab.
I'm brother Amon.
And today we want to speak about a little the history of the Maccabees, you know, and the Greek captivity. Because the thing about it though is, let's say you have a Bible, right? The majority of the Bibles don't carry the Apocrypha. You know, there's some that do though, like the old King James, right? The old King James Bible. I believe that one has the Apocrypha, but the majority of them don't have the Apocrypha. And in that book though, and the Maccabees, it tells you the history about the Greeks though, you know, how Alexander the Great, you know, and generals took over and things like that though. So the thing about it though is that, because how is it that, you know, in the Bible, right, it talks about the Assyrians, the Babylonians, you know, before that, you know, too, like, you know, of course, the Egyptians were under the Egyptians' captivity though, the Syrians, the Northern Kingdom, Babylonians, the Persians. And then it just skips to the Romans. You get into the what's that called? The New Testament. It was already in the Roman captivity though, because by the time Yahushua was born, the Romans were already had taken over already though, you know. So they were already in captivity though. So the thing about it though, so I'm trying to get at though, it skips the Greek captivity though, because we were in the Greek captivity too. And the times from, you know, back then, though. You know what I'm saying, though? And that's a major key about, you know, that's why I want to talk about Hanukkah, though. Because the history, though. You know what I'm saying, though? Because the thing about it, though, is these small hats, I don't know when they celebrate it. You know, today's the last day. I believe, yeah, today's the last day of Hanukkah. Because we are in Hanukkah, and then today's like the last day. You know? Or yesterday was the last. Was it today? Is it today? Last day of Hanukkah? Today, right? So it's today though, you know what I'm saying though. So I don't know when these small hats celebrated though, but the thing about it though is we know the true time, the date, and the timeline though. You know, when it comes to Hanukkah, you know. So a lot of people they don't want to talk about that we're in a Greek captivity though, but we have to, because the book of Acts though, that's when it's, you know, the apostles and disciples, you know, especially Apostle Paul though, went out there and, you know, taught to the Gentiles though, but it was actually our people. It was actually our people that were in a Gentile state of mind though. You know what I'm saying? It's like us too. Before we came into the truth, we were in the Gentile state of mind though. We didn't know we were Israelites. You know, the most we think back though, we were so-called Mexicans, and that's it. Like they just literally stopped right there. Oh, we're just Mexicans. And we may have been Aztecs though, and that's it. But it doesn't. But before that, what were we before that? So it doesn't go too back though, man. Especially the Edomites, they ain't gonna tell you who you truly are though. You know? Oh, you guys were Aztecs though. That's it. You know? But the thing about it though, in the book of Acts though, when it talks about these Gentiles, these Gentiles, they was talking about these Israelite foreigners that were in a Gentile state of mind though, man. And it's the same thing with us too though, man. This is literally what we're living right now is Acts 2.0, man. You know, because this is the only captivity, the only captivity where we didn't even know we're Israelites. Because at least in the other ones prior, we knew we were Israelites though. But in this one, because this is the American captivity though, people are like, how are you in captivity though? How are you in captivity though? Nigga, we're in captivity though, man. Because who's over us? This fucking devil, man. So I want to get a little bit of the history of about the Maccabees though, you know? Ron, if you got something brother too. You want to bring something out?
The name Mexican, really comes from like Messiah or anointed.
Chica.
Yeah, that's where it really comes from too. So Mexicans are the Hebrew descendants.
Mm-hmm. Because remember the Aztecs they talked about it in that movie Blood In Blood Out. They were waiting for what the hell is, you know what I'm talking about? When Crucito was talking to his little brother, weren't they airbrushing the car though? You know, I'm talking. I forgot the name of the but he said he's gonna that deity God that was gonna come and save his people, though, the raza. He said he's gonna come and save the raza, though, and he actually painted the god though on the car though.
Yeah.
See, so our people even back then knew of true power though, man, but just that they didn't know the name and who he was though, you know. But they had, like it tells you in the scriptures, our people have a what's that? What was it in Romans though? But they don't have the knowledge. You know, they have a spiritual feeling that there's a true power out there, but they don't have the knowledge though. You know, and that's our people. You wanted to get more.
Let's see that.
Oh, I was just gonna get into the history of the Maccabees a little bit. You know, like who are the Maccabees? Because when it came into the truth, bro, when you brought me up though, you know, you're teaching me. I didn't know about the Maccabees.
Yeah.
And this brother was, you know, is the first brother that told me about the book Apocrypha, because I didn't even know what that was. You know?
I'll read this. This is it says, Hanukkah is an 8-day Jewish winter festival. Oh, it's not Jewish, it's a Jew. It's a Jew festival. You know?
No ish in it. You know, it's all.
Meaning dedication, which is the feast of dedication. That commemorates the rededication of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem after the Maccabees' victory over Syrian Greek rule, celebrated by lighting a menorah nightly, reciting prayers, and eating oily foods like lat cakes.
Like some cakes, right? Like
Lax or something. It honors the miracle where a small amount of oil miraculously burned for 8 days.
That's spiritual.
That's what it says.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's spiritual, though, you know, because that oil, man, it just kept burning, you know? For the 8 days, though. You know?
Which represents the oil is the truth.
The truth, yeah.
You know? It got to keep burning. You know,
that's why that parable about the 10 virgins.
Yeah. Because the other ones, they wanted the oil because they didn't have none.
They ran out.
Yeah.
The other 5.
That means that they didn't have the knowledge. You know?
Yeah. Which we are in those times right now, because there's these other fucking Israelite camps like that, like Genesis. Now talking about, you know, Gentiles can be saved though. Like they're going backwards though. You know? They don't got the oil.
Yeah. Because you need that oil in order to see, because you need the light to see. If you don't have the oil to burn the light,
how are you gonna see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
So you motherfuckers you know, Genesis though are putting something in front of that light though where people can't see.
Yeah. How are they gonna wake up, you know, a whole new set of Israelites, you know?
Yeah.
When majority Israelites already woken up.
Already. And then 2/3 are gonna get destroyed though. 2/3 are gonna get destroyed though. So why like, I don't get it though, man. You know, well, you guys clearly sold out. It's obvious though, you guys sold out, but you know, you could, you know, there's so many other topics that you could talk about in the scriptures though, bro. That they could talk about. They could talk though, but they talk about that Gentiles can be saved though. And it's like, what the fuck you talking about? Which is good though, spiritual, because you know we're gonna get into the you know, a little bit about the Greek captivity though. And, you know, the history, though, you know, the Maccabees and the Greek captivity, though, and how our people were Hellenized, though, you know? Because, do you still got more on that?
Just that candle that burned, you know, it just represents, you know, the truth, and that, you know, you got to have the dedication.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to dedicate yourself to be out there, you know, speaking, though. Yeah, because doesn't it tell you in the scriptures in the book of Matthew though that don't put your candle under the bush. What is that? Bushel. Yeah. If you got this knowledge and truth though, You know, you're gonna come out, you know, make videos and do camp though. You know, if you got the truth though, you're not gonna just I know the truth, man. I acknowledge it. You're not just not gonna acknowledge it. You're gonna, you know, show yourself worth the.
Yeah.
You know.
You have to save souls. You know.
Yeah.
You can't just save your own soul. I mean.
Like that's being selfish. In other words.
Because you were woken up doesn't mean you don't have to wake up other people.
Yeah.
You gotta wake up other people too.
Because now the blood is on your hands.
Right.
You know.
Because imagine you're sleeping next to your brother, you know.
Yeah.
And you wake up and you don't wake him up.
Oh yeah.
You just let him sleep, you know. You know. And it's somewhere dangerous, you know.
Yeah. When the grenades, you know, nearby or something, you see that shit though, and you're inside this, what do they call it, platoon whatever.
Oh yeah.
And you don't tell them though, hey, there's a grenade, wake up. You see that shit and you just take off running.
That's right.
That's cowardly though, man.
I forget what you got.
Gone. So, yeah, because a little bit, his brother had said the history, though, and because it says the Maccabees was the 2nd century BCE, around 167 through 160 BCE. It says a period of Jew resistance against Hellenistic Seleucid Empire led by priest Matthias and his sons, Judas Maccabees being the most famous, you know, the hammer, resulting in the successful rededication of the temple and the start of the Hasmonean dynasty. This history is recounted in the books of Maccabees. See, it says found in Catholic and Orthodox Bibles, but not Protestant or Jewish canons. But the thing is, the Apocrypha is the Bible too. It's not like, you know, they say it is part of the Bible. It is the Bible too, you know. And the thing about it though is, if you go to your local churches, if you go to these other places though, they're not gonna tell you about the Apocrypha, you know? I didn't even know that existed until this brother told me the Apocrypha. I'm like, what's that? And he told me it's this little red book. And then you broke it down to me, well, I was like, what the hell? Like, why isn't it in the Bible though, then, if it's that important though, you know? And I believe it's called hidden though. It's Apocrypha, the hidden, in the Greek is called a hidden or something. Well, how more spiritual is that? I was like, what the, his brother, you pulled it out, remember though, you pulled out a little red book. I'm like, what's that? You know, like, oh, this is the Apocrypha. You know, get this for sure, the Bible. Like, this part of the Bible. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even know. So, you get into the truth though, you start learning these new things though, man. You know, like this brother had told me before, oh, no, there's a specific Israelite camp you gotta listen to, and it's GMS. And I was like, oh, I thought all of them were the same though, you know? It's out there, you know? Being Israelite though, I thought being Israelite it was the same mind though, state of mind though, but hell no, there's different Israelite camps out there, man. And I was like, oh shit, man. But the Lord had us where we follow Great Millstone though, man. We learn from Great Millstone though, because they got the true word though. And now, you know, throughout the years though, it's obvious they got the true understanding though. Because you guys, these other, hey, what's the mark of the beast? Man, they'll fucking beat around the bush so hard, or they'll say some crazy shit. You're like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. You guys are just out of, it's bullshit, man. You know?
And they don't sell the truth, you know? They don't sell the truth. You know, they give it to you for free.
Yeah.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Sell the truth. No, what did it say? When you buy the truth, don't sell it? Something like that? Yeah.
Like these other camps, you know, they have what do you call it? Like a subscription.
Yeah, like a monthly subscription or something like that?
Yeah, to where they could get paid.
Yeah, because that was what Sakari was doing. With Alazar was in the mix of that. When he was the leader, and one of them said though in the comment though that they want their money back though, because now before they said that Gentiles couldn't be saved, and now they could be saved. So one of them on the comment board was like, "Yeah, I want my money back," because you guys said that they couldn't be saved though. See what I'm saying though? So it's like you guys sold out, man. You guys definitely sold out.
Yeah, because you're selling the truth, you know.
Getting paid for it though, man. Yep. When it tells you in the scriptures, I'll get that one real quick though, where it says sell the truth.
Yep. Buy the truth and sell it not.
Yeah, or Proverbs 23 and 23. That says, buy the truth and sell it not. Also, wisdom, instruction, and understanding. See? Sell it not. The hell you doing? You're not UIC though. Oh, you join their camp, you gotta buy a shirt though. The whole ass package though. You get the whole package though. You probably get some boots too. Pay $100 though, and you get the shirt. You get the boots though. You get the pants. You get the slacks. You know what I'm saying? The whole IUIC package deal. But if you subscribe right now, you get a discount. You get 10% off. God, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying though? Why couldn't you just, if you have the truth though, just put on some garments though? You know what I'm saying though? And just go out there and speak though, man. Of course, we know, I mean, some of his brothers though, you know, it's like the elder from South Carolina was actually talking about this though, you know? Yeah, we might have some wrinkle. Oh, it was the Texas. Well, I think it was Texas though, brothers. Elders though. They're talking about like, yeah, we might have some garments and they probably be wrinkled. We ain't the most flashiest though, but at least the fact that we go out there and have the truth though, man. You know what I'm saying though? Because when we come out here, I mean, we don't look raggedy though, you know? Like at least when we come out here to teach though, at least we come out and, you know, we take care of ourselves hygiene-wise though. You know what I mean? It's not like we come out here having morning breath though, coming in shorts though. Like, you know, last minute, oh, I got the shorts though. Have fucking, you know, saliva on the side of the mouth, you know what I mean? The side of the face or something like that, man. We take care of ourselves though, man, you know? So even regardless of the situation though, you know, we don't try to, like, what's it called though? Be flashy out here, you know? Just basic though. We just, you know, basic and that's it. So, yeah, you got something?
No.
Okay, so can you get Hebrews 12 and 16? So, the thing about it though is, like, you know, a little bit of history of the Maccabees, who they were, because it was the brothers that revolted against, you know, because at the time, like I said, what's it called? Epiphanes the fourth though, he had taken over that. He was one of the generals, you know, at that time though, but they were just like, man, he was calling shots though, where making our people go out as in shit, bad as in, like, even with the foreskin to putting it back onto the penis again. Like, this guy was a tyrant, man. This guy was pushing hell within our people, man. You know what I'm saying though? And these devils, man, like I said, they revolt, like they were pushing hell though. It's the same thing which is this, you know, it's a spirit, because you know, they were Levi though, you know, the Maccabees, they're Levi. And remember, back in the French Revolution, would try to take over the island of Haiti, and the Haitians though, they fucked them up though, the French up though, man. I forgot what year it was though, but you know what I mean. But like, they fucked them up though, and they ran them Frenchies out of the fucking island though. They rebelled because why? Because they were being oppressed though, the Haitians. And that time though, I don't know if it was 18 something though, or 1900s though. But anyways, they're oppressing the Haitians though, man, the French though, man. So they went to war with these motherfuckers though, man, and they fucked them up though, you know, and kicked them out though, you know. So these devils and the French were, you know, Edomites though. So these French always oppress our people before, man. So that's the thing about it though, man. So they always try to say, right, the Greeks though, they're the first civilization and this and that. No, it was you Edomites though that took over the world, man. First time you motherfuckers ran the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? The first time though, because they've been civilization even before the time of Alexander the Great, man. There's always been civilization though, man. It just, at that time, it was the first time like Edomites taking over the world, man. You know?
That's when he started making history.
Yeah.
He started making his story.
His story, yeah. Which you'll get more into it, because you know how he tries to say he's a Greek though, but the original Greeks were Japheth though. You know what I mean though? Trying to say, oh, the original Greek, when it tells you in the scriptures that his father was from Macedonia, Alexander the Great, his father was Macedonia, which we'll get into that too. His father was a Macedonian. What are you talking about? And the Greeks though, like I said, the true original Greeks were Japheth though, these Pacific Islanders though, which I'll get into a little bit more though. But can you get that one too? First, Paul,
Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Yeah, because so you're saying that this guy is a profane motherfucker, right? So he's a profane person, though Esau and his descendants, right? He can't get in the fold of this truth, though, you know. So now can you jump into Acts 16 and read 1 and 2, because they always want to say the Gentiles in Acts though are Gentiles though, but in reality they're Israelite foreigners though. You know what I'm saying though? So he read Hebrews 12 and 16, right, which is in New Testament. So Apostle Paul never fucked with the Edomites though, right? So in other words though, because he knew who the true nature are though, or were, or still are. So can you get that one, Bob?
Acts 16 and 1. Then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there, named Timotheus, or Timothy, which is Timothy, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess.
She was from the tribe, the tribe of Judah, the southern kingdom.
A Jew woman.
Mm-hmm. She was from the southern kingdom, though, his mom, right?
And believed, which was a Jewess and believed, but his father was a Greek.
And see, Christians and people are like, see, his father was a Greek, though, right? But not. His father wasn't a Greek, though. He had the customs of the Greek, though. Because he just read Hebrews 12 and 16 that, Apostle Paul knows who Esau is, though. So if Timothy's father was a Greek, though, that would, a Gentile, that would make what? Timothy a Gentile, right? So the fact that, you know what I'm saying, though, Apostle Paul wouldn't be messing with Timothy, though, if he knew he was an Edomite. So clearly, Timothy was not an Edomite. He was an Israelite, but his father happened to be, a Greek in the custom, but his father was an Israelite, though. But he was just caught up in that Greek custom, though.
It was just a Greek citizen.
Yeah. It's like us, though. We're, we so-called Mexicans, though, but we live here in America. And you looking, you guys have an American citizenship.
That's right.
So, and that's the thing about it, though, so this thing from back then, too, it was that, yeah, his father, he believed in the Greek customs, though, things like that, though, but his father was an Israelite, though, because his father was this pale motherfucker, though, and Timothy looked like his father and knew he was an Edomite, though. What? Apostle Paul wasn't going to mess with him, though. You know what I'm saying, though? Because Apostle Paul knew that the Edomites are profane people, man. So why would he mess with a person that's an Edomite, though? It just doesn't make sense, though, So his father was an Israelite, though, but just in the customs of the Greek way, And that's how our people are, though, man. It tells you in the first book of Maccabees, in the first chapter, how, the which we'll get a little bit too, So there you go, though, man. So the fact that Apostle Paul wouldn't mess with Timothy if he was an Edomite, though. You know what I'm saying, though? But his father, Timothy's father, was an Israelite, but just caught up just in the Greek customs, though. How many are people, bro? Those so-called Mexicans, though, and they act like they're white. They act like they're white, though. Judah, or look at fucking, what's his name on that baseball player, Sammy Sosa? He bleached his fucking skin. He looks weird, though. He was, he was dark, though. He was hella dark, bro. Like, hella dark. Let me see if I can get some images of Sammy Sosa. But he was dark as hell, though. But now he looks weird as fuck.
Got that leprosy. Just like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
It's called vertigo.
Yeah. They want to clinically call it that, though. But we know it's leprosy.
Vertigo.
Look at him, right? He was dark like this, right? Sammy Sosa, right? Look, and now he looks like this. What the fuck is this guy? Yeah. Yeah, come on. No, I got it right here. Look at one picture like that. I'll just show him that.
Christ.
Look, you see what I'm saying? Like, our people are, damn, that's crazy though. It's Sammy Sosa right there. The before and after. He looks weird though. You see, our people trying to be so white.
Just messed up your skin because now you don't have your skin. You mess up your melanin. You know?
Yeah. What's gonna protect you from these what's that called? This UV rays though from the sun now. You don't got melanin no more.
How you gonna get a tan? How you gonna get a tan now? I mean,
yeah, like how you like? It's crazy though. Like how are you gonna?
The whole point to go out in the sun is to get a tan. You know, but you wanna reverse it.
Yeah. UV fucking you're gonna get skin cancer though. You don't got melanin to protect your skin no more. Motherfucker, you're gonna get cancer now. Fucking idiot.
Like when someone's in the cold, when they're all cold, you know, you don't get no sun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So then you don't get no color.
Yep. Yeah, and then you got these Edomites that try to get color. You know, they go out and get a suntan. Well, you know, motherfuckers getting burnt.
They get sunburned.
Yeah. See, here, our people want to lighten up their skin, and here's Esau trying to darken their skin.
It's backwards.
It's fucking backwards, yo. So it's just like, man, your people, man. That's what I'm telling you. Our people, what makes you think our people didn't sell out the time from back then, though? You don't think our people sold out back then? You know? Our people are still selling out to this day. Our people are selling out to this day, man. Look at Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Pete Diddler. Look at the Pete Diddler.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? He hurt more of his people, our people, than he hurt these Edomites, though. Because every victim was either Judah or maybe Issachar or whatever, Ephraim. You know what I'm saying, though? He hurt more his people than he hurt the Edomites. And you people don't fucking see that though, man. It's the same thing with gangbanging and shit. All you're doing is hurting your own people. But here is this Edomite not giving a shit about you and say let it be though. And you people are fucking stupid, man. Now our people been like that since the times before, man. You know? So the Greek captivity had happened to us though, you know, because even can you get John 10 and 22? Because Yahweh Shai knew about Hanukkah. You know what I'm saying, though? He knew about Hanukkah, though. So how is it that he was in the Roman captivity, though, but he was celebrating this thing, though. Well, not a thing, though, but celebrating this memorial. So it's like, whoa. Like, he's celebrating this house of dedication, though. Where's part of that history in the Bible, though? But it's not going to tell you if you don't have the Apocrypha. Can you get that one, Bob?
It's John 10 and 22, and it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it was winter.
Aren't we in the feast of dedication right now? And isn't it winter right now?
Yep, because it's hella cold.
Exactly, though. So Yahweh Shai had acknowledgement of Hanukkah. You know what I'm saying, though? So it wasn't no just thing that, just something you brush under the carpet, though. Nah, Yahweh Shai knew about the house of dedication, though. You know what I'm saying, though?
Feast of dedication.
Oh, Slakia, feast of dedication. Yeah, because I got the Pastor Bible app, though, which, you know, gives you like an idea of a precept, right? So, I'll get John, it was 10 to 22. 22. Yeah, because I got this app right here, right? And it'll tell you like the, what the precept means, right? And it says, this dedication festival looked back to 165 BC, which I read earlier, you know, when I was the history of the Maccabees, to the rededication of the temple after it had fallen into enemy hands, who were the Greeks, you know, right? So it says look back to 165 BC, and right earlier when I was reading the history, it said from 167 to I forgot what I read though, you know, but it was a similar timeline though. You know what I'm saying though? So the Feast of Dedication is talking about Hanukkah. So Yahweh Shai had acknowledgement of that though, you know? So it wasn't just something though. Because let's say if you're someone that's studying, right, and you're gonna be like, what is that? What is that? The feast of dedication? Oh, that's Hanukkah. Wait, but in the Bible, it does. In the Old Testament, it doesn't talk about the Hanukkah. So where is Hanukkah from? You're gonna not even know. You know? You got something, brother?
Just too that that light represents Yahushua, because he is that light, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because
go back to John.
Oh no, that's fine though. You could jump to Daniel 7 and 6. Daniel chapter 7 and 6. Yeah, because even in the book of Revelation, it talks about the what do you call him? The morning star, though. Yahushua.
Yep.
Morning star. I mean, he is the light. He still is the light. You know? So, you know, you Christians want to say, oh, you got to be like him. Try to, you know, be perfect like him, though. You guys ain't perfect like him. You guys ain't walking the, you know what I mean? Like, what Yahushua went through, you Christian would never, you won't even die for Christ. Let alone Yahushua, though. You guys wouldn't die for Christ. You telling me you will go through what Yahushua went through, though? You know, the whippings, the spitting in the face, the slap, though, dying on a cross. You guys would not die for the cross even for your Christ, though. Let alone Yahushua, man. You guys ain't with that, man. You guys wouldn't even come out here and preach. You know, there's some, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some Christian pastors that go out there, though. What? But you don't see them lately, though. Why? Because it's not that season, right? Because it's too cold maybe for them. You know? But you see the true worshipers of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai out here in season and out of season, though.
They'll die to eat some pork or something.
Yeah. They'll die from eating it so much they end up getting fucking diabetes or heart disease. Oh, you got
It's John 7 and 6.
Oh, Daniel.
Oh, shit.
Get that.
Oh,
yeah, because so you will say though, right? Like the Greeks were never like in the Old Testament. What are you talking about, right? For anyone that will say the Greeks were never in the Old Testament. Well, guess what? Daniel talked about it though. He said it in a vision though. You know what I'm saying though? So how is it that the Greeks that Daniel talked about though, you know what I'm saying though, and then all of a sudden the captivity is never spoken of throughout the Old Testament, right? So it's been talked about though before, you know, and that's proven point when the book of Daniel, what this brother's gonna read right now.
It's Daniel 7 and 6. After this, I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
And that leopard represents Alexander, though, you know? And the 4 dominions were the 4 generals. Because remember, he ruled for like 12 years. Then he was going to die. And he gave the land to the 4 generals, you know? So the thing about it, though, is he was like, hey, whoever is worthy of being a true ruler, he gave it to the 4 generals, though. You know what I'm saying, though? So here is Daniel's talking about the Greeks, though. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, I'll go back to that pastor app, though, right? And because, you know, you're saying, oh, you guys are just probably talking, though, just saying, speaking out of your ass, though, right? But it's like, all right, well, let's get into the, because even this app, though, tells it. It says, the leopard, you know, I mean, you can see the breakdown right there. The leopard symbolizes Alexander's Greco-Macedonian, right? Macedonian Empire. See? Yeah. It says the leopard is a swifter beast than the others mentioned, and the 4 wings added to the suggestion of very rapid movement. Alexander's swift conquests were a marvel in the ancient world. Yeah, because they're like, man, this guy conquered his lands fast, yo. Like a leopard. You see? So when he took over, though, that's when the civilization, though, happened, though. You know, the Greek, though. You know? So it's like, okay, you hear the history, you read the, next can get Daniel's 8 and Yeah, 5. You can start at 5 and finish to 8. Because you're talking about, okay, you can read the Syrians' history, right, in the Bible. You can read the Babylonians, right? It tells you there in the Bible. You can read the Persians, though. You know what I'm saying, though? Because Malachi and Haggai, both of them were in the Persians' captivity, though. You know what I'm saying, though? And then the Syrians, though, was with Isaiah. Isaiah. Who was it? Because I know Jeremiah, of course, was Ezekiel. Also, Ezekiel was in a Syrian captivity, too, though. You know? So you can read that in the book. And then Jeremiah was in the Babylonians. Daniel was in the Babylonians, though. So you can read that history. You know what I'm saying, though? The book of Esther tells you about the Persian, though. You know? So where in the Bible does it talk about the Greek, when they were in the Greek captivity, though? It's not going to tell you in the Old Testament, though, you know? But in the Apocrypha, it does, though. You know? So you could get that one.
Daniel 8 and 5. And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west of the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes.
Yeah, you keep reading.
And the next verse 6, and he came to the ram that had 2 horns.
Which is 2 horns, it was like the Medes and the Persians, though, you know? Because the he-goat is Alexander. Talking about how he took over, you know?
And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and I ran unto him in the fury of his power.
Talking about how he took over, man. It was fast, you know? Yeah. It talked about how he, you know, because it tells you, though, how he went through him, though, you know, it was like, it's swift, though, like a leopard, though. Because like 12 years old, like, you know, like he had taken so much land and to conquer so much land fast, though. Alexander the Great. You know, he took down the Medes, and the Medes, man, and the Persians, though, man, those motherfuckers were powerful, man. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of land, too. I believe it said like 127 provinces. They had a lot of land, though. For him to take over all that, you know what I mean, though? Fast, too. It was never known, like I said, in the ancient world, though, man. So if you want to...
Yeah. Daniel 8 and 7. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him.
Like anger, like, you know, so much anger.
Yep.
Yeah.
Against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns, and there was no power in the ram to stand before him. But he cast him down to the ground, and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand.
Because he had taken over, you know? Yeah. And then can you get the next one, Bob?
Daniel 8 and 8. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great.
Yeah, he had conquered, though, you know? Alexander the Great, he had already conquered, though.
They already called him great.
Yeah.
Great. See? The he-goat waxed
established.
very great. And when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up four notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven.
Yeah, because he had died, though, so that's when he gave his domain to the 4 generals, though, you know? So that was it, though, you know, because he died fast, no? He was pretty young, no? I believe he was young, though. He died, like, in his 31. So he died pretty young, though. So he gave his domain to, like, the 4 generals, though, you know? So, you know, so that's the thing, though. So anyways, the Greek captivity in there, the Greeks, though, was talked about in the Old Testament. And that just got proven right now by the book of Daniel. You know what I'm saying, though? Going from what we read, though, and going from what this app says, though. You know what I'm saying, though? Hey, you know, talking about the Greeks, though, is talked about in the Old Testament, though. You know? So that's the thing about it, though. And we'll jump into the first Maccabees, the first chapter. We'll read 1 through 15, though, because it talks about how, you know, there's a little history on that, though. Yeah, first Maccabees, first chapter, 1 through 15, 10. Yeah, because that's the thing, though, you know? I mean, I understand, you know, like I say, you come into the truth, though, and you don't know about the Greek captivity, because even myself, too, I was like, Greek captivity? Like, oh, there's these different captivities, though, and you wouldn't really read as much, though, as the ones in the Old Testament, though, but in the Apocrypha, which it's going to give you a little history what the brother, you know, is going to read right now, you know?
It's the first Maccabees 1:1, and it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian.
See, the Macedonian. Right?
Who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians.
Yeah. King of the what? Persians. See?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That he reigned in the stead the first over Greece.
See? So he started taking over, though, you know? That's when he started taking over. Because the thing about it, because he said what? He started reigning over Greece, right? I think that's what it says, right?
Yeah. That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
Ooh, see? So, he wasn't even in those land, though. Yeah. So you talk about he was the first Greek, though. How was he the first Greek, though, when there was already people living in there? You know? So it's the same thing with America, right? These fucking Edomites want to call themselves, oh, American, I'm an American. When it was like, God was here before you, niggas. You just came and conquered and murdered, though, man. And then that's what you Edomites do. You go to a place, though, you murder the people there, you put yourself in that place, and you call yourself what that place was called before. That's what the Edomites do, though. And it's pretty much what this motherfucker did, though, too. You know? Oh, yeah, you're lying. How am I lying, though? These fucking Edomites came over here to America, killed Gad, brought Judah over here, and then they started calling themselves American, right? You ask an Edomite, hey, man, where are you, man? Oh, I'm an American. Are you? You see? And it's the shit that they were doing at this time, though, man. Because the true Greeks, though, is these people called the Minoans, though, the Etruscans. They're called the Minoans, though, because let me get a little history on that, though, because the Minoans, you know what? Let me get the Minoans. Because the Minoans, which is true Japanese, though, they lived in the places like Greece and Crete and all that, those islands, though. Because it makes sense, bro. Because what, the Pacific Islanders, don't they live in islands right now? The big Japanese, you know, they're big and brown. These people live in the islands, though, man. They're by the sea, though. And then the over here, though, because it tells you. Let me get it real quick. Because these were all where the Minoans civilization was at. That's where they dwell. Before what's it called though? The Greeks took over, though, you know? Even like, you know, look at the little islands and things like that. This is where the Minoans dwelled at, you know? Jabbit, though. So this is before the Creep came over and took over. So this was their area right there, you know? The Minoans, though, because I had what's it called, though? Where I had it, though? The timeline. Because I had a screenshot, though, you know? So like the timelines and things like that were, if you can see right here, look at the timeline right here, the ancient Greece timeline. And there was the Minoan civilization developed on Crete. And then they had all this, though, until 300. Then Alexander the Crete came over, in 300, though. So it was like, okay, what happened to the people before, though? You know? And those people were the Minoans, though, man. So pretty much this motherfucker came in, probably murdered some of them, and kicked them out. They started calling themselves the Greeks, though. You see? So The thing about it though is no one's been there before, man. You know what I'm saying though? They had been there though. But this devil and his army, of course, came in, took over, kicked them out, probably murdered some, probably kept some of their wives. Because, you know, Jabbeth has some beautiful wives. Man, there's some beautiful women in Jabbeth, though, you know? The Pacific Islander women, though, shit, they look good, though. Yeah, because it says right here, look at the Greek of Dark Ages, many Greeks, 1500, though. You know? 1500, though. They've been there. And then this guy came in at 300, though. You know? Yeah, so you can keep reading the Bible shop. Yeah, so just a little history, though, you know what I mean, though? Like these devils do that shit all the time, man. They'll go to a place, took over, kill, murder, rape, and then they fucking kick them out, and they stay there, and they say, oh, we're the true, this is what we are, though, now. These devils been doing that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I'm going to read 1 Maccabees 1:1 again. And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth.
This nigga, see? This nigga just kept conquering though, you know? This guy's a fucking devil, man. You know what I mean? So even within our people, I think, where is it at though? When it talks about you keep reading though. Yeah, you keep reading though, because all that's good though, you know.
Maccabees 1:4, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up.
See? So he was just, you know what I'm saying, though? He proud, though, but he took over so much domain, though. He domained so much places that, you know? He took over, though. So that's the thing about it, though, man. So this devil, you can skip down to 11, though, Baba Kasha, because he goes into our people becoming like the heathen, though, you know? Yeah, you can go to 11.
1 Maccabees 1:11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
See, wicked men, because they were about that Greek captivity. They were about that Greek customs, though. You know what I'm saying, though? It's like, oh, we want to be like them, though. Can you read that again, Baba Kashan?
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
See? It's fucking sellouts.
That's what Genesis are doing. They're making a covenant with the heathen.
Yeah, saying that there's salvation for them.
Mm-hmm. They're making a promise.
You're probably these wicked ass men from the time back then.
It's just saying these days, wicked men.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing, though.
Yeah, same thing right now.
Let us make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
You see? You motherfuckers gave up, man. You guys say, well, fuck, you might as well. If we can't beat them, join them. You fucking sellouts, though. And that's going on right now. So a lot of wicked men from out of Israel came out, man. You see what I'm saying, though? So they were about that Hellenization, you know? And they got passed down to their children, though. But these were Israelites, though. But, you know what I'm saying, though? They got passed down through their fathers to be like the Greeks, though. See? So that's the thing about it, though. It's like my father would be like, oh, you're Mexican. But it's like, nah. I'm an Israelite, though. Happen to be from the tribe of Issachar, though. We'd be like, nah, you're Mexican, though. Like, nah. Find out the truth, though. I'm an Israelite. And you are, too, though. But he'll be stuck on, nah, I'm Mexican. You know what I'm saying, though? So, those are the thing about it, though, man. You know what I'm saying, though? So, a little history about the Greeks when they started taking over, man. Because it's telling you, he reigned for like 12 years, man. And he gave domain to the 4 generals, though, man. You know what I'm saying, though? So, now we can just get into about the Hanukkah, the first Maccabees 4 and start at 41. Just the history on that, then we could just call it, though. Yeah, so what his brother's gonna read right now was the event that took place and where it became Hanukkah. You know what I'm saying though? So when it became Hanukkah, and then our people were revolting against the Greeks though, because they had done so much wickedness to our people, man. You know, sacrificing swines in a temple and shit though. They were just doing the most though, man. So this is just gonna be the history of the true Hanukkah when it came out, you know, when it happened though. You know? Because we're at war, man. We're at war with these devils. We're still at war with these devils. You know? But it is just the you know, the history on when it happened though.
What was it?
First Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 41 through 59. Sometimes I gotta refresh myself too, you know? Yeah. So you could jump down to 41 though. So just gives the history though, you know?
First Maccabees 4 and 41. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress until he had cleansed the sanctuary.
See? So he had to go. That was about fighting though. Always about fighting though. You know? You keep reading about yourself.
So he chose priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law.
See, so he chose true men though, you know? He didn't choose no niggas like Genesis. You know, these are true men though, you know? You keep reading.
And then it says, who cleansed the sanctuary and bare out the defiled stones into an unclean place.
You keep reading.
And when as they consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings, which was profaned, they thought it best to pull it down, lest it should be a reproach to them, because the heathen had defiled it.
Yeah, so they took it down, you know? It's something that's defiled like this, though, why would we still, you know? They defiled it already, so might as well take that shit down, you know? It's like if you have a woman, though, and she has sex with another dude, though, you're not going to take her back, though. She's defiled, though. Tells you Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter. You know? You're not going to take that thing back again. You know?
If somebody else licks your ice cream, you know,
you're not going to eat that shit no more.
You're going to still eat it? If they're just...
Licking on that, going downtown, huh?
They licked all over that shit.
What are you going to say? You're going to say, keep that shit. I don't want that shit no more.
Yeah.
You know?
You know?
Keep it.
You can keep it because there's more, you know? There's more.
Yeah. That ain't the only ice cream. And then it goes to the woman, too. She ain't the only one. There's a lot of women out there.
That's right. It's like fishing, you know?
Yeah, what they say? What's it saying? There's a lot of fish in the sea.
Yeah, there's a lot of fish in the sea.
Hey, don't worry about that, girl, bro.
You got a whole planet, you know, a whole planet of women.
Yeah, and there's more women than men. I believe the odds are what, like 1 to 7 or some shit, or 1 to 4? Something like that, you know? But there's way more women, though, than men.
And then, First Maccabees 4 and 46, and laid up the stones in the mountain of the temple in a convenient place, until there should come a prophet to shew what should be done with them.
See, so they had to, you know, pretty much make another altar, though, you know, in other words, though, because that shit the other one has been so defiled, though, they're like, nah, you know, just make another one, though.
Then they took whole stones according to the law, and built a new altar according to the former.
Can you keep reading about what oh, you had to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say they built a new altar.
Yeah.
You know? Just like how the temple was destroyed. Now there ain't no more temples.
Yeah.
You know, so all these churches are just wannabe temples. You know.
yeah. That's what I tell you. Made with hands.
The last temple is made with is spiritual. You know, the last temple that's being built is spiritual. You can't build it. You can't build the last temple. You know?
With hands, though. You can't build the last temple with hands.
You can't build the last temple with hands.
Nope. And what we're talking about is the temple is the bodies of the 144,000, though. That's the third temple, though, you know? It's the New Jerusalem that John saw coming down. He didn't see a host. Like it was like, what that represents, though, was the 144,000, though.
Because we're all stones, and we all build up the house.
Yeah.
Build it up.
And Yahweh Shai is known as what? Cornerstone, the chief cornerstone. Because without him, you got a pile of stones. If you don't got that cornerstone, all those pile of stones will fall down. Yeah. So that cornerstone represents the keeping it together, though.
Because you take out that cornerstone, there's nothing to lean on.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Gone. Yeah.
And Yahweh Shai, he's the one that we lean on.
Yeah.
You know, lean on me.
Oh, that song?
Yeah. There's even a movie called Lean on Me.
Was that with Morgan?
Yep.
Yeah, I understand.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. He's a teacher or something like that? Teacher or principal?
He's a teacher.
Slaps the shit out of that kid who's smoking crack on top.
Oh, yeah.
He gonna die. Yeah.
So, it makes you stupid, man.
There you go. They say, make you stupid, man. Yeah. So that little J kid, Yeah, and he's also known as, like, it's like you build your house, you're going to build it on a rock, not on sand. He represents that rock, though. Building your houses on him, you know? Yeah.
You know, First Maccabees 4 and 47, then they took whole stones, I read that, 48.
Yeah, you're 48.
And made up the sanctuary and the things that were within the temple and hallowed the courts.
Made them holy, yeah.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name, yeah. That's holy, separated, you know?
49, they made also new holy vessels, and into the temple they brought the candlestick.
Which, you know, the candlestick, the menorah, right? The menorah. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying, though? That's what they brought in, you know? So it goes back to, they had the menorah, though, you know, the candlestick. Yeah, they brought it into the temple, you know.
The candlestick and the altar of burnt offerings and of incense and the table. Verse 50, and upon the altar they burned incense, and the lamps that were upon the candlestick they lighted, that they might give light in the temple.
See, so they needed that light to see in the temple. We were talking about earlier about Yahweh Shai being the light, what this brother was talking about. You know? What, do you think they were just in there in the dark? No, they needed the light, though, you know? And they're inside the temple. You know? Spiritual, man. It's real spiritual, man.
Yeah. And you need that, the everlasting gobstopper.
Yeah.
No, the everlasting oil.
Oil, yeah.
You know, to burn.
What you were talking about earlier.
And then First Maccabees 4 and 51. Furthermore, they set the loaves upon the table and spread out the vials and finished all the works which they had begun to make.
Kind of looking like Moses' time, how well, they're trying to replicate that. So were they trying to replicate that, or they were just doing it? Because it's not like Moses at the time. Moses the altar when he was.
It was kind of like they were getting back in order.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, though, right? Because it sounds like the same thing like at the time of Moses, though.
Yeah.
You know.
They had it up, you know, just like all the other prophets, you know.
Yeah, gone.
Just like King David, Solomon.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like even like us too, going back to who we really are, though. You know, not eating pork no more, not committing adultery. You know, going back to our old customs, though, who we truly are, though. So they did that too back then. The Helen says in the book of Acts, though, when Paul was speaking to the Gentiles, which are actually Israelites, going back to who they really are. You know.
You going?
Yeah, Paul Kashan.
First Maccabees 4 and 52. Now on the 5 and 20th day of the 9th month, It's not a Tuesday or Wednesday? Because there was no weekdays, you know.
Yeah. There were just days and based on the moon when a new moon.
It was just months and days and years. You know?
Yeah. Because it was last night, right? Where it was the end of the new moon, right? Because we went we were in the Sabbath though, double. So then yesterday, the new moon already happened already though, you know, the end of the new moon, right?
Yeah, it was the 19th and
20th, right? Yeah. So the Sabbath was yesterday, right? In other words. Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was the Sabbath though, you know?
It's the real Friday, Saturday, you know?
Yeah.
Now it happened to land on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, right, because that's what I was going to say, yeah.
It's not Friday, Saturday all the time. You know?
Yeah, this time it did happen on Saturday, Friday and Saturday though.
Now it is Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
This month.
Oh, it was Thursday and Friday. Yeah, because it went from Saturday to Sunday, right? Oh no, yeah, Friday to Saturday. Yeah. So the brother said, it is a Sabbath now, Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. We had a 3-day Sabbath.
Yeah.
You know.
Gone.
Yeah.
So, because it was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Yeah, gone. So it's Sunday. Yep.
So now on the 5 and 20th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up 3 times in the morning.
Yeah, because in that month, it's the time like we're in right now, you know? Because it's cold though, you know? They'll tell you right there though. It's the 10th month, right? What do they call it?
The 9th month.
The 9th month, yes, like it. Yeah, it's the 9th month
That's
though.
how you know that the calendar's messed up, because right now
it's a 12th.
the world's in the 12th month.
Yeah. So it's like it's like 3 months ahead. Yeah, it's 3 months ahead. And then not like in one more week though. We're gonna be in the New Year's though. And we're gonna go back to the first month, so-called first month, in January though. But here it tells you the 9th month. We're in the 9th month right
At midnight.
now. Yeah, the day starts at midnight.
In the middle of the night.
When everybody's asleep though, and people are committing crimes, adultery, partying, all this shit at 12. Yeah, that's a new day. A new day is supposed to be like beautiful, spiritual, man. You know? But to Esau, the new day is at 12, or the time where people are asleep though, or they're committing crimes, adultery, and partying up and drinking. This devil's backwards and shit, man. No? And you can read the next one, that'll be it.
First Maccabees 4 and 53, and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings which they had made.
Oh, you get the next one. Yeah, so you could say
It says, look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it, even in that was it dedicated with songs and citherns and harps and cymbals.
Yeah, see? And you could get the last two, 55 and 56.
That's the same thing how the heathens, they're profaning, the word.
Yeah.
With songs and...
Yeah, with the songs they sing in church, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yep.
Or saying Jesus the Christ.
Yeah.
That profaning it though.
Yeah. And then First Maccabees 4 and 55, then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the Most High of Heaven, who had given them good success.
And you could get the last one though, when it talks about the 8 days. Because, after 8 days, people to know that little bit of history.
And verse 56, and so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days and offered burnt offerings with gladness and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
See? So the 8 days though. So we're literally on the last day, or it is the 8th day, literally we're in right now. When the sun goes down, it's already done, the 8 days. So, so that's the history on Hanukkah, the true Hanukkah. These small hats, they'll probably, I don't know when they celebrate it though. I don't know if it's already done or They probably already had celebrated like a month ago or some shit, you know?
Yeah, I think it was like the 16th or something, because
They
show it on the calendar.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they do on the star, and they just show you right there the day. Yeah. See, they started earlier though. You know. So that's the thing about it though. Or they started late, or however the case be though. But anyways, they don't do it on the right day, you know. But here you are, they'll tell you the day though, man. Exactly the day, because it says the 5th or the 20th though. You know, and the month of what the brother said. You know what I'm saying though? So you should know, like, okay, you know, that's the thing though. But like I said though, these pastors, these preachers will not tell you about Hanukkah because they consider that like Old Testament thing, you know. The small hats celebrate that, but we don't. But if you're an Israelite, that's part of your culture. That's culture too, man. You know what I'm saying though? See, here you are, you're an Israelite, you're celebrating Christmas, but you know, praise the Lord on the time of Hanukkah, which we're in right now.
Yeah.
You know?
I get this too. First Maccabees 4:58. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away.
See? Oh, perfect.
So that's why we keep it in remembrance, because this makes us happy.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, hell yeah.
Remembering what we did to the heathens. You know?
Yeah, we fucking rebel against these. Well, they want to say we rebelled, but in reality, it was right what our forefathers did, though, man. The fuck you over here coming over here? You have a house, right? Would you let a grown ass man walk up in there, slap the shit out of you, though? Put his food in your fridge, though? Try to, you know, put his pictures on the wall and take yours, throw them in the trash. Will you let a grown ass man do that shit to you?
Come in your house and fuck your wife.
Yeah, use your shower. Oh, these are my kids now. You know, I don't want them change their names. Fucking your wife though, kicking you out. I mean, that's happening to even within our people, man. Fucking our women, fucking divorcing the men, taking their money, keeping the kids though, having another grown ass man go into their own house that they paid for. You talk to these men don't like that shit. They hated that shit though, that these women did that shit to them though. You know, bought a house and shit. And 20 years into their marriage though, they had 3 kids though, and the dude gets kicked out of his own house that he got though, and he has to pay child support though. And then she has a nigga living in with her. Do you feel played though? You don't think our people felt played though? When they motherfucking devils came in the temple and did all that shit though, man? They fouled our people, man. They fouled the temple. You know? It was only right though what they did though, man. You know? Got more? So with that, you know, hopefully it was edifying camp though. We want to give all praises and glory to and double honors to the apostles and elders and great millstone. So with that, we want to say shalom.